Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
Your daily dose, here we go. GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Morning to you. It's midweek. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is a news review, and right here we bring you all the latest headlines making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the show. This is your morning companion. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do well to log on, send in your comments. We do well to read them back to you. Let's get interactive right here on the morning show. I am your host, Ruth Esenam Fiagbedu, and this morning I'm doing this with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, ladies, and you're welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Hope all is well.
By grace.
Oh, we thank God for life. It's already midweek, and I think we have just 2 days more to end the week as well. You can see that the days are running very, very fast. So all too soon, July will also be over. Right. As part of the stories, this is not actually part of our stories, but, you know, with the issue of Miracles Abuaje, the new development is that he has been released. Yes, finally, Miracles Abuaje has been released, and, you know, he's fine. And yesterday, watching the video, you could see that this person is even smiling. And people are saying that he was there, and now I am mobile, he's sick, he has not eaten. Look at the person that came out yesterday wearing a white t-shirt. You could tell, that could tell you that he has been treated well by Yoko. And Ameboa, didn't you see the video yesterday, ladies?
I saw it.
You could see that, you know, he came out and then was waving everybody, was looking like a superhero. Yes, indeed, he's a superhero. He shut down the whole of Accra. Right, let's get into our news items for this morning. Paula Foko formally declares NPP national chairman bid, urges party to rebuild after 2024 defeat. Former New Patriotic Party National Chairman Paul Afoko has officially announced his decision to contest for the party's national chairman position, calling for unity and reforms to rebuild the party after its defeat in the 2024 general elections. Speaking at a press conference in Accra, Mr. Afoko said he will formally submit his nomination when the party opens the process, adding that he is offering himself to serve with humility and commitment. He argued that the NPP's 2024 election loss was caused by several factors and should not be blamed on one individual. According to him, issues such as organizational weaknesses, communication challenges, economic concerns, weak grassroots structures, and declining public confidence contributed to the defeat. Mr. Foko said the focus should now be on rebuilding the party rather than engaging in blame games. He stressed that for the NPP to return to power, it needs a united party structure, motivated grassroots and members, stronger organization, and an effective parliamentary strategy. The former chairman also urged members who feel left out or disappointed to return to the party, saying the NPP needs all its supporters to rebuild. As part of his vision, Mr. Foko introduced his 3 hours agenda: reunite, rebuild, and recapture power, which he says will focus on strengthening the party from the polling station level, improving mobilization, and ensuring resources reach party structures. He also pledged to help the NPP recover lost parliamentary seats while maintaining its traditional strongholds. Reflecting on his previous tenure as national chairman, Mr. Foko said initiatives introduced during his time, including constituency accounts and parliamentary primaries, show the impact of effective leadership. He believes the NPP's return to power will depend on humility, hard work, discipline, and renewed commitment to serving Ghanaians. So, Mr. Paul Afoko has formally declared his intention to stand for the national chairman, and his aim or his objective is to rebuild the party. And this man has actually been a part of the NPP, and due to certain, misconduct, alleged misconduct, he was suspended out of the party. He wasn't a part of the party, but now he's back. And as part of he coming back, he has officially declared his intention to stand for the national chairman. He said this is just a declaration, but once the process is out, once the form is out, he is going to file for nomination and go through the process for him to be elected as the national chairman. Ms. Debbie, I believe you know Paul Afoko.
Yeah.
His achievements in the party so far, and he coming back, and his intention to be the national chairman, and his aim is to rebuild the party. He gave his 3 hours: recapture, rebuild, and also reunite. Looking at the kind of person he is and the kind of achievement he has been able to achieve in the party, do you think that, looking at his objective that he has laid out, it will be an easy peasy job for him to do?
Speaking to the truth, I feel like he's going to find it quite difficult, but then with determination, and you also having a massive support within the party, that is you getting people, well-known people in the party to back your bid, it will make it quite easier for you. But if not, it's going to be quite difficult. Paul Afoko was very prominent in the NPP party in the late 1970s, and he also helped to overthrow Dr. Hilary Man. That is somewhere when J.J. Rawlings overthrew Dr. Hilary Man. He was part of the crew that overthrew him. So you could see that in terms of politics, he has really played a massive role. But then the suspension came somewhere 2016, 2017, where some of the MPP members felt like he was undermining another bringing out conflict and a whole lot of issues. And so he was quite suspended. But now he's back. The thing is, before you contest, they don't only look at the policies you are bringing on board and what you can do. Your history in the party also counts. What you've done in the party. Have you left a good legacy? Was it a bad legacy? How well are you going to unite the party? He said that he was going to ensure that the structure of the party is rebuilt, in a way reorganize the party, because he feels like for some time now there've been some sort of misunderstanding and challenges within the MPP party. And as a chairman, your work is reloaded. It is not a job that is on the floor.
Yeah,
it
entails a lot.
Yes, it entails a lot, and the task is breathtaking. So to give you that position, don't forget that you're not the only person contesting for that position. There are other people who have been in a party and they are also contesting for that position. So it's going to be a very fierce competition at that. But the thing is, if you're able to win the heart of the people and you are able to convince them that you are a change being, and so they can have some sort of trust in you, and you're able to get a massive support from the people within the party, to make it so easier for you. But if not, whatever he has stated in as his reason for contesting really makes sense. It really makes sense. But they are not only going to base on that. They are going to base on your conduct in the party, what you've done in the party, your years of being in the party. Was it to benefit the party, or was it to divide the party? They will take all these things into consideration. Don't forget that we still have people in the party that whatever you did before that got you suspended is still fresh in their mind. And those people are going to make sure that this contest become very tough and very difficult for you. So for me, if he's willing for it and he can really stand it, because this is a very big storm that is coming, so you need to be well prepared, well armed with your bulletproof and everything to chase whatever comes. Yes, so with that, if you can stand, then there is victory at the end of the tunnel. But even if he doesn't win, you sold yourself out. Another time you can still stand a chance.
Right. Miss Regina, looking at Paul Afoko's issue leading to his suspension, the fact that he wasn't a good leader, in a sense that he wasn't giving a listening ear to the rest of the members, and then made it look as if, say, he knew it all, and there were other misconduct that led to his suspension. And I think somewhere last year, amnesty was granted to all suspended members. So due to that, he's back now. So all suspended members in the NPP are automatically unsuspended now due to the amnesty. Now he's back. Looking at the legacy he has left, in as much as he left a good legacy with his leadership style and the kind of achievements he brought to the party, but not forgotten what actually led to his suspension, and now he coming back. Do you think that he's going to have it easy, or people are even going to be convinced to buy into it that he should lead the party as the national chairman?
So I would say it's all about rebranding. So since he has learned his lesson, because from 2015 till now, it's really a long time. There has been some mechanism. The gap has been enough for him to restructure himself, to rethink, and to also rebuild. So I think the only thing they can do is to give him an opportunity again. I believe that the people in the party know him for his good works. When it comes to humans, no matter how good you are, we have our little mistakes, but we shouldn't let those little mistakes override the good that we've done. And also when it comes to human behavior, it has become a pattern where the 99.9% good you do, the moment you do 1% bad, they use that 1% bad to erase all the 99.9% good you've done. So I think with the people in the NPP, they shouldn't use his past mistake against him, because he has done good. He has helped build the party in a way that they've also come to meet it as it's now, as it stands now. So I think the only thing he has to do himself is to rebuild himself. When you present yourself very well, why not? People would give you that opportunity again. And looking at the chairmanship race, it wouldn't be an easy one, because a lot of people are in there who also want to take on that bid. So it's just about you selling yourself, as Debbie said. When you sell yourself very well, why not? People would give you that position. And also to your friend is saying his 3 hours.
Yeah. Really
those
nice.
Those three the 3 hours no has, should I say, is already there. The NPP brought it up with their delegate conference. They brought it up, but it didn't work. Maybe another phase would change something. So let's see how it goes. But to me, the MPP, it can't reunite.
Oh, let's give them the benefits of the doubt that indeed, definitely, maybe someone can come in to advise these people for them to be on track. Palafoko is old. As it stands now, he's 78 years. Does he have the strength to lead a party with all the shenanigans going on in the party? Messi Gina.
Yeah, he has it. If Nanado was able to rule, if anything, Nanado was 80 plus. Anna,
Let me confirm.
I think Anna, 70. No, he was not 70, he was 80 plus. You confirm for me. So if Nanado was able to take the whole of Ghana, then why can't Paul Afoko do that? I'm not comparing them though, but they are in the same age brackets. So I think they can, if anything, if he could, then Paul Afoko can also do it. But I think there should be. He was 80 plus.
Yeah, he was 80 plus.
I think 83 or
But
something.
today, even playing this year, he's 82.
Yes. 82 and 70 plus. He can do it. And even when you see him, you can see say the strength is there. He's still energetic. So then put an America.
You are talking about his 3 hours.
She asked a different question.
I asked a different question. That has to do with his age.
My issue is with all these old men still in the party. I'm not saying that they should resign, but they should step back and give the opportunity to all these young ones coming on. Because 78, I think there should be a time limit where then you will resign. No, not resign as in resign from the party, but resign
and train
exactly and train
ones.
the youth coming up.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, all the leaders in NPP are old men.
Yeah.
And they don't want to give the opportunity to the youth coming up. We've seen some of these NPP communicators when they communicate, in as much as most of these communicators they lie, but you can see the vision. They are capable, they are able to do it. So they should give the baton to them so that they would relax and just guide them.
They will relax and just guide them. They said they were going to give the youth an opportunity, but now as it stands now, they have a 78-year-old man who wants to bid for the position of the national chairman. Well, let's see his competitors and let's see how it goes. Moving on to our next news item. 22-year-old law student declares bid for Mensah South seat in 2028. A 22-year-old law student, Nana Ejewa Bafoboni Michaels, popularly known as Okodie. Sorry, forgive me if I don't get the name right. She has announced her intention to contest the Mensah South parliamentary seat in the 2028 general elections on the ticket of the Base Movement Ghana. Speaking at a press conference in Kumasi, she said her decision was motivated by her desire to address challenges facing residents of the constituency and promote a new style of leadership focused on listening, accountability, and service. Ms. Michaels identifies several issues affecting Mensah South, including youth unemployment, limited support for small businesses, inadequate skills training, poor educational infrastructure, healthcare gaps, poor roads, sanitation challenges, and limited opportunities for women and young people. She argued that politics should go beyond promises and focus on practical solutions that improve the lives of citizens. Outlining her vision, the aspiring parliamentary candidate said she would prioritize job creation, entrepreneurship, skills development, support for local businesses, improve education and healthcare, and stronger accountability in governance. She also promised to work with traditional leaders, religious organizations, civil society, and the private sector to promote development in the constituency. Ms. Michael said she intends to run an issue-based campaign built on respect and peaceful engagement, calling on residents from different backgrounds to support what she described as a movement for change. She believes a new generation of leaders can help create more opportunities for young people, empower women, and improve living conditions in Menchia South. This is actually a 22-year-old young lady. She's a law student and she has declared her bid for the Menchia South seat in the upcoming 2028 election. 22-year-old. Miss Debbie, does age really matter in politics? Looking at this 22-year-old young lady, assuming she actually wins the seat and goes to sit with parliamentarians, those in their 50s, 60s, and making decisions. Does age really matters in politics?
Age for me is just a number. In a way it matters and in a way it doesn't. Because we have people who are grown enough and their way of thinking is quite archaic. And then we have people who are young, we have youth who are very young but they are very intelligent. When you hear them speak, you can tell yourself that this is sense talking. And then when you hear of people who claim to be old enough, trying to tell you, do you know me, do you know my age? It's not about whether someone knows you and your age. It's about what you can offer. Whatever you are putting across there, is it making an impact, or whatever you're putting across there is rather causing distraction? So the members of parliament we have, a lot of them are in their early 40s, 50s, 60s, and even 70s. And you can bear with me that sometimes when you hear these people talk, you ask yourself, how did they get in parliament? How were they even voted for? You tend to argue with whether the person genuinely won the election or there was some sort of bias somewhere, because the way the person communicates and whatsoever the person is putting across there does not really cannot even tell your identity or who you are. It feels so different from the position you hold. But then you see a kid, a young child telling you something, and then you can tell yourself that no, this child is very intelligent. So for me, it's not about the age. The lady is very intelligent. Her courage is top notch. At her age, she is not done with school, she's still in school, but then she has realized that she has that capability and capacity to lead, and then she had people backing her up. So it should tell you that it's not about the age, it's about how good you are, how intelligent you are, how credible and how full of integrity you should be. So the age matters, but it matters in a way that whether, as I said, we have people who are young and they think so. We have people who are old and you can't even know what they are saying. And I feel like it's about time when these people will come back, they'll come home, they'll have this realization that it's not only about age. Even if a 15 or 20-year-old child wants to contest, why not? But the thing is, before you get to that top, there are qualifications you need to attain. So if you are 15 years and you are, say you're in JHS or SHS, you cannot contest. The person you are contesting with has PhD, has masters, has, like, they have the certi.
But do those things really matter?
It matters. It matters. It really matters.
Because we have had certain
it's really
people
matters.
who have not even gone to school before, and they are, they are politicians.
They've not gone to school before, but they have the experience. They've experienced. It's not as if they've not gone to school before. They've been in school, but their level of education is not high. So I think some time ago we have some member of parliament. I think she's a woman also.
We also had Chada who said he completed just SHS.
Just SHS, but look at him today. He's talking about policies.
And you think that should be someone we should actually entrust the whole country into?
You can entrust the whole country to him if you trust the person. You know that this person can equally deliver. You see, we have entangled ourselves with some sort of rules, and it's hitting hard at us. Before you attain certain positions in this country, there are some procedures, there are some rules that you need to attain to. If you don't have that that solid backing that has to do with your education background, you having the city and all that, it makes it so difficult. See, we have politicians who are legal practitioners. Why are they legal practitioners? Most of them are legal practitioners, but they are not practicing in court. And it's because they want a fair idea on what law is about. We have journalists that went to school to do their master's PhD in law. They are not lawyers in the court, but they want the idea so that in case there are issues on law and all that, you can share your thoughts and your opinion. And then when you have a guest coming on board and they are speaking about issue pertaining law and they are telling lies, you can tell them, no, what they are saying is false, because you've went to school, you've studied it. So to acquire the knowledge is very, very significant. You need to. It's very, 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 very important. It's not only about you going to sit in parliament. The parliament you are going to sit, the position you are going to occupy in parliament, it needs deliberation. It is not always about things happening in your constituency. Sometimes it's about general issues, and if you don't have, as a politician, you need to be very intelligent. You need to know a bit in health, on education, on religion, even issues that do not even concern you. You need to have a fair knowledge on a bit of everything, because someone can just call you, we are talking about this, and because they know you are a politician, they know you are intelligent, you should speak to it. It becomes absurd when you're talking to a politician, you ask them a question, it's like they are confused, they don't even know what they are saying, and that is because they don't have acute knowledge on whatever they are speaking about. So with the SETI, it is very, very important, very, very important. If it is not important, I'm not sure these politicians, I can boldly tell you that some of them have even still enrolled themselves in school, not because not because they want to be whatever they are studying, but because they want to get more in-depth knowledge on what is upcoming. The world is evolving, new things are popping up, and the Gen Zs of late are getting the opportunity to learn things that the oldies didn't get the opportunity to learn. And so when you listen to a Gen Z student politician speaking, you can even hear sense speaking in whatever they are saying than the oldies we have today that call themselves parliamentarians. So for education is very, very key and is very, very necessary. So that's that.
Very soon we'll be having younger politicians. Miss Regina, what's your thought on a 22-year-old law student who has declared her bid to stand for the MP for Misha South?
So I would say it's a good thing, and this is no news. This is the kind of audacity we are supposed to be instilling in the youth coming up these days. We shouldn't wait for 30, 40 before they come out to say, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. 22, she's still very young, she's energetic, your friend is saying, her scope of knowledge is very broad, where it would be very easy for her to pick up little things and also tedious tasks at that very age. So I don't think this is something extraordinary or unbelievable that has, I say, alien be a free planet about Ghana. So then we'll be like, hey, what is this? Hey, what is this? This is what we are supposed to be encouraging. Yesterday when I saw it, I was really happy. I was very happy. And also, considering the fact that she's a law student, she'll tell us that she's very intelligent and she's up to the task. So why not? 2028, the only thing she has to do is to be selling herself, doing good things. Assets now, probably when it comes to finances, she might not be stable, but she can start with other things. We have some of these communities in the constituency where she's competing for, where most of these people lack certain things. Let's say what would I use? A borehole. She can petition the president, she can petition any big person that would come to help her.
Already she has actually pointed out the challenges in the community.
So you see, I think it's a good thing. We have most of these big women in parliament. We have Bright. This fair lady, Abby Bright. We have the Minister for Gender. They would support her. they would support her. All she has to do is to just go to them, speak to them. Why not? They'll support her, because this is women supporting women. Me, if I'm in power and I have a lot of money and a young girl is coming up and she comes to me that, oh, I want to do it, I will gladly support her, because it's the joy that is there to support your fellow women is really necessary. So I think it's a good thing and she needs to keep it up. But one thing she should notice, challenges would come. People will discourage her, and even some of these big people in the party might try to intimidate her, but she should not be intimidated, because with this politics it comes with a whole lot of issues, so she should be ready. And also one thing she needs to add to her sleeve is to make sure that she is trustworthy. She shouldn't be like, oh, because I'm a 22-year-old girl and I'm a lawyer and I'm competing for this, so no matter what happens, whether I am loyal or I'm not loyal, the people who support me, so just be respectful and also be trustworthy. And at the end of the day, why not? I can even go there and go and vote for her.
So you would gladly vote
I would gladly
an
vote
individual
for her.
when you happen to see
Yes.
that shouldn't actually matter in our political space.
Oh, no.
So
Mama politics now kuntan dodo.
yeah, this should actually encourage other young people that they could also get a chance. They have the audacity to go up for certain positions like this. Then, as you mentioned, it's not going to be easy, but you have to up your game and make sure that you get good people surrounding you who are going to give you advice. And she's actually coming from a new, let me say, a new party.
Is it not Jacos?
Oh my God.
So you see, with the support you are talking about, they can only support her behind doors, but it cannot be open, because all those women parliamentarians belongs to a party.
Yeah. So maybe they can do that back door and also train her. That will go a long way. But just as you mentioned, the audacity for me at 22 years. Hey, we're struggling with projects near the idea. I also had the parliamentarian duties, Baba account. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us on the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history and some global observances. On this day, 2006, Twitter was publicly launched by Jack Dorsey, Evan Williams, Bess Stone, and Noah Glass. Originally conceived as Tweet, an internal SMS-based group messaging service for the podcasting company Odell. It quickly grew into a stand-alone microblogging platform characterized by its signature 140-character limit. Over the years, the platform evolved by adding features like retweets, photo sharing, and longer character limits. Following its acquisition by Elon Musk in 2022, the company was officially rebranded to X in April 2023, expanding its scope toward an everything app to explore the origins and development of the platform further. Moving on, 1903, Ford Motor Company takes its first order. Just a month after its incorporation, the Ford Motor Company took its very first order. The buyer was Ernst Pieng, a dentist from Chicago, who purchased a 2-cylinder Model A with a rear seat for $850. The car was manufactured at the company's first plant on Mack Avenue in Detroit, Michigan. The vehicle was delivered to Dr. Fieng just a little over a week later, establishing the initial success of the company that would soon change the world through mass production. To some few global observances, today is World Youth Skills Day. It celebrates the importance of equipping young people with essential vocational technical and digital skills for employment, decent work, and entrepreneurship. The UN designated day encourages training and dialogue across industries to bridge the global education to employment gap. The theme for this year's World Youth Skills Day is Skills for a Shared Future, highlighting the need for young people to adapt to a rapidly evolving labor market through AI, digital innovation, and green transition. Lastly, National Give Something Away Day. The day encourages radical generosity by clearing clutter, donating unused items, and sharing time or skills to uplift others and spread positivity. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances live on Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some global observances of the day. As you heard, give something away, right? It says give something away. It could be food.
Anything.
It could be anything.
Your clothes, your phone.
Oh, okay. So be kind to somebody this morning. So that is all what it's saying. Thank you so much, Miss Regina. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
Welcome to Debbie's Girl, where we talk about issues that matter to the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The ranking member on Parliament Economy and Development Committee, Kojo Nkrumah, has questioned the implementation of the NDC government's flagship 24-hour economy program, arguing that despite Parliament approving about 650 billion in public spending over nearly 2 years, there's little evidence the policy has delivered a promised result. Speaking on the floor of Parliament, while seconding a motion for the House to adopt the report of the Economy and Development Committee, the former Minister of Information said government's much publicized 24-hour economy policy has yet to produce a single identifiable beneficiary operating under the model that was promised to Ghanaians during the 2024 election campaign. According to Mr. Nkrumah, the 24-hour economy was marketed as a transformative industrialization and employment program built around the simple concept of one job, three people, three shifts, popularly referred as the 133, which was expected to create thousands of new jobs round-the-clock production in both the public and private sectors. He recalled that since assuming office, the government has repeatedly been urged by the minority to present 8 major policy documents to Parliament for scrutiny. He noted that apart from the annual economic policy statement, the 24-hour economy policy document remains one of the few substantive policy frameworks officially submitted to the House, despite the administration nearing its second anniversary in office. Mr. Nkrumah said Parliament has appropriated close to 660 billion Ghana cedis over the past 2 years to finance government programs and interventions, yet the flagship policy that dominated the government's campaign narrative has failed to demonstrate practical implementation. He argued that after nearly 2 years, the government has not been able to identify even a single public institution operating under the promised one job, three shift framework, describing that reality as the clearest indication that the program has fallen short of the expectations created during the election campaign. The legislator said discussions during the committee deliberation revealed that government is now shifting attention to new pillars of the program, constructing 24-hour market and designing incentive packages for private sector operators. He questioned whether building new markets would automatically result in continuous economic activities when many existing markets across the country already struggle to attract traders beyond designated market days. Drawing from his own constituency, Mr. Nkrumah said he has a modern market that does not operate around the clock, adding that similar situation exists in many districts where market becomes active only once a week. According to him, simply constructing additional markets without expanding economic activity, production and consumer demand will not guarantee 24-hour trading. He argued that government appears to be relying on assumptions rather than practical economic realities by expecting new infrastructure alone to transform commercial activities. This is a lot. Let me add this. He further argued that the introduction of the 24-hour economy effectively displaced the one district, one factory initiative, which according to him was already delivering measurable and industrial outcomes in which of the district. Citing the National Development Planning Commission's annual progress report for 2024 published in June 2025, he said the official government documents confirmed at least 150 one district, one factory projects were operational by the end of 2024. So this is from the former Minister of Information, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. I believe we can all remember back in 2024, one of the flagship program of this current administration was to establish something they call the 24-hour economy, and that is they are going to build a well-modernized, equipped market in 261 districts, which means that each district will have a modernized market. Now the government have 4 years, and we are almost completing this second year. So let's just say that the government have been in power for 1.5 years now. In the remaining months we have to complete 2026 is not far. It's just at the tip of our nose, which should clearly tell you that within a twinkle of an eye, we will be done with 2026. But as it stands now, the 24-hour economy market is yet to be built. We've seen videos where structures were demolished, all in the name of they building a 24-hour market. We saw that of Kaswa. We saw other districts as well. Now, this 24-hour economy market they are bringing on board is a nice policy. So the market they are building or they are about to build, it's not just a mere market like the ones we have. That is a modernized market that will have a police station, it will have a bus stop, it will even have a place where they sell fuel. It has a lot of things that it will be chipped in there. So it wouldn't be like excuse me, this is the market, but then you need to walk from the market for a long distance if something is going on in the market to report a case to the police, or you have to walk a long distance to get something or relay an info to someone very important. They want to include everything in a 24-hour market. So in the 24-hour market, as I said, there will be a police station. In the 24-hour market, there will even be schools. And the 24-hour market, there will even be a health center. So it is a whole lot of initiatives in one. But this market is yet to be built, and this is how it's going to be: 1 job, 3 shifts. And so we have people that work in the morning, we have people that work in the afternoon, we have people that work in the evening, so that it keeps the people busy. Traders will work throughout to get their money, consumers will also work throughout, then they will get their money. But we are clocking 2 years, and we've not seen the markets. We just hope that by the end of this year to next year, they will build this market, or they'll fulfill the promise as they said. Building 260, so this is, and in total they are building 261 markets. And I'm just imagining whether they have enough time to complete or build all this market in all this 261 districts before they leave far. This is a promise you made to the people, and I can boldly tell you that the citizens of this country are keenly paying attention to see whether the promise you've relayed out, you are going to fulfill it, or it's going to be one of those that we always hear of and it remains on paper. It doesn't materialize. Because if you're talking about 24-hour economy, and as it stands now, there is absolutely nothing to show. It raised a lot of questions in the mind of the people. Now, one thing that I don't really agree with the former Minister of Information was that he said the One District, One Factory that they brought on board, the initiative they brought on board, they've completed about 150. And I'm kind of confused. Which district and which district has the One District, One Factory they are talking about? Because what I know was the government collaborated with an already existed company. And so they sourced them out. So imagine maybe there is a company here in Anya, and they are into processing, say, yam, into yam chips or yam flour, or maybe rice, or say beans. And then the company is not doing so well. The government collaborates with the company. The government resource the company, and the government ensure that the company is running effectively. But he said they've built 150, and I didn't see any. In my district, where I come from, there is yam and there is cassava. In fact, all the yam and the cassava you enjoy here in Accra is coming from my district. That is where it's coming from. But they said, they promised us that they are coming to build a Gari factory. And the Gari factory is nowhere to be found. The Gari factory, as it stands now, is nowhere to be found. But he is claiming that they've commissioned 150, One District, One Factory. If that is true, then I think we shouldn't even be complaining about employment. And sometimes I wonder where they get that from. I don't know whether they just want to cover things up, or they are just saying it for saying sake. Because what I know is that they said some of the One District, One Factory has been commissioned, but it's not up to the number he said. Is this something that is on ground, that is being effective, that has employed people, or it is just being stated because of propaganda? And you see, so this is where the repetition of one thing keeps coming in. That you say something, you bring out policies, you bring out initiatives, and then we don't get to see it. We only get to see it on paper. We don't get to see it materialize on ground. We were here when they told us that they are going to build One District, One Factory, one village, one dam, one constituency, 1 million, a whole lot of promises. But how many of this did we see? Fine, maybe in your constituency you have gotten all this, but in my constituency there was nothing like that. And you see, this will be very painful if after the structures are demolished and no market is being built. For instance, I was talking to my dad, and then he told me that they want to come and build a 24-hour market at my place. And why they want to build the market was it's a whole school, a government school, and that school has been in existence for so many years. We already have a marketplace, but they said the school where the school is situated, that is where they want to build the market. And so they demolished the school building and they've laid the foundation. So one thing I asked my dad, I was like, why? Is that the market we have there? They cannot demolish those structures and then modernize it, build it, or they feel like they have to do a new thing. And as I said, it will be very painful, and Ghanaians will not forget this if after the structures are being destroyed and no market is being built. We saw that of Kaswa, where a lot of traders were complaining that they've demolished their kiosk, they've demolished an existing market and a whole lot because they want to build 24-hour market. But the 24 market is yet to be built. So what we are saying is that we want to see this market materialize. It's not only on paper. You have 4 years, and we are almost done with 1 year. Our next election will be in 2028, And I can boldly tell you that from somewhere June, July, maybe Ghana, everybody will be busy to bring out another new policy. All politicians will be busy because they want to convince you to vote for them. And that is where the challenge will come. So, see, the time is very, very limited. Very, very, very limited. We just hope that this materializes. But if it doesn't, then you see the same issue that Ghanaians keep saying that all politicians are the same. Well, it will be true. We just hope that it comes to pass. But there will be a very huge disappointment after 4 years in power, and there is nothing to show of 24-hour market. Thank you for making time with me on the Biscuit.
Thank you so much for making time with us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the morning news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be back. Please stick and stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news right here on GTR.
It's exactly 8 o'clock a.m. Good morning and welcome to the morning news on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up this morning, government to launch Diaspora National Service to connect young Ghanaians abroad to national development. Chief Executive Office of Dialects Finance calls for stronger anti-corruption laws as businesses fund politics for future gain. Also in the news, African Union Anti-Corruption Board Chair urges stronger political party financing laws across Africa. Majority Chief Whip dismisses minorities' calls for Attorney General to appear over Miracle Sabuaje's arrest. We've got details on these stories and many others coming up shortly. The government of Ghana is set to introduce a Diaspora National Service program aimed at reconnecting young Ghanaians born and raised abroad with their heritage. Director of Diaspora Affairs at the Office of the President, Kofi Otre-Dako, announced the initiative at the Made in Ghana Diaspora Student Forum. According to him, the program will target young members of the Ghanaian diaspora before they enroll into the university. The initiative forms part of government's broader strategy to strengthen ties with the diaspora and harness their potential for national growth in education, health, technology, and entrepreneurship.
Our objective is not to persuade every Ghanaian student to return home immediately after graduation. That would neither be practical or very necessary. Our objective is to ensure that wherever you find yourselves, Ghana remains part of your professional journey. Every year, Ghanaian students graduate from some of the world's leading universities. They publish research, develop new technologies, participate in advanced industries and contribute to cutting-edge innovation. Our responsibility as a government is to create stronger channels through which expertise can benefit Ghana, regardless of where those individuals live. The countries that succeed over the next generation will be those that know where their skilled citizens are, remain connected to them, and also create opportunities of continuous engagement. We intend to have what we want to call diaspora national service, and it's actually not meant for people like you, but people who grew up abroad and are getting ready, to go into university. It's not really sort of the age brackets, but somehow come back home to Ghana and be re-immersed in or reintegrated into the Ghanaian society or the Ghanaian system for maybe 2 months and then they go back. I think it will be a very good way of also getting them intentional with our country. You can contribute to Ghana without permanently relocating.
Chief Executive Officer of Dalex Finance, Joe Jackson, has cautioned of how some businesses treat political campaign funding as an investment to secure future benefit from government. Speaking on the influence of money in politics, Mr. Jackson said companies provide financial support to political parties with the expectation of getting contract, tax exemptions, and license when their preferred party wins power. According to him, this practice creates a cycle where political decisions are influenced by financiers rather than public interest. He called on authorities to strictly enforce anti-corruption laws and improve transparency in political financing to reduce the power of money in Ghana's politics.
And I had been underestimated. The same estimate said it cost 100 million to mount a credible presidential bid. The question from my perspective is this: where does that money come from? It comes from the private sector. And just maybe what we fail to realize is that buying political influence may be the most effective investment there is now. That if I invest in influence, I will reap the rewards. And the rewards may be multiples of what I could ever get doing legitimate business as Dalex Finance. The rewards come in, procurement contracts that are overinflated. The rewards come in tax exemptions that I'm not entitled to. The rewards come in licenses that I shouldn't get, and I could go on and on and on. So it's all of us our fault, right? Don't delegates collect money from candidates? Don't the public demand from their candidates even when they go door to door? Don't they demand? Don't we ask that they make donations at funeral? So we are all selling our votes in effective. The masses of us are selling our votes. And so we come here and we hear these numbers and we are all shocked. But in truth, the parties are demanding such a high price of being a candidate. The public is demanding money. The delegates are demanding money. And unless all of us draw from the brink, we're not going to get anywhere. Otherwise, the end result is total chaos and collapse of our democratic experience. The way forward, together we must fix things. And when I say fix things, it's not just more civic education, more ethics education, another declaration. That doesn't solve anything. After all, we've talked about, is anybody afraid that if you are caught in funding politics the wrong way, that you pay a penalty of any sort? That if I get a wrong procurement contract, that I will be asked to refund the money, or I will be asked to go to jail? Nothing. So unless we get serious with enforcing the rules that are already there, we get serious about enforcing the sanctions that are already there, we're not going anywhere. There's no punishment. So there's a huge reward, and there's no downside. What do you think we will do?
In related news, Chairperson of the African Union Advisory Board Against Corruption, Kwame Edem-Senanu, has called for stricter political party financing laws across the continent to promote transparency, accountability, and democratic integrity. Speaking at a regional convening in Accra, Mr. Senanu cautioned that the lack of clear regulations on how political parties raise and spend money is fueling corruption, illicit financial flows, and state capture. He urged African governments to strengthen legal frameworks to regulate campaign funding, enforce disclosure requirements, and impose sanctions for violations. The meeting brought together anti-corruption institutions, civil society groups, and policymakers from across the region to discuss strategies for curbing corruption and strengthening democratic governance in Africa.
This gathering for me is a timely follow-up to our efforts last year in Doha, where we got the UNCAC resolution 11.7 passed. And as the history and Jorge gave us sufficient history for us to understand how Africa has led the way in this particular regard. And this particular forum is intended to ensure that we begin to take steps to tackle the threat that financialization of politics poses head-on. Our overarching theme, as you will see from the slides here, advancing reform, transparency, accountability, and democratic integrity, aligns with this year's annual African anti-corruption theme, which is scaling up the promotion of integrity and anti-corruption actions across the African continent. Now, ultimately, whether the nuance is advancing or scaling up, clearly, we all agree that there is an urgent need to identify concrete ways that we can speed up, expand, and strengthen our collective actions to promote transparency, accountability, and issues of democratic integrity on our continent. Political party funding is one of the principal entry points for corruption, illicit financial flows, and state capture on our continent. Opaque, unregulated, or illicitly sourced party and campaign finance distorts electoral competitions. It entrenches incumbency advantage and converts public office into a vehicle for private and partisan enrichment. Whilst the sources of party funding are undisclosed, unregulated, or drawn from corrupt or criminal proceeds, then political competition ceases to reflect the will of citizens, and instead, it reflects the interests of some undisclosed financiers, incumbent office holders, or transnational illicit networks. The African Union Convention on Preventing and Combating Corruption, AUCPCC, in its Article 10, provides the continent's binding normative anchor for regulating this domain. It obligates state parties to prohibit the use of illicitly acquired funds in party financing and to embed transparency in how political parties are funded. Additionally, this convention provides for us a very unique opportunity, since at the moment we have 50 out of our 55 member states that have signed up, and we have 49 that have ratified. Now that means that they are committed in principle to domesticating the AUCPCC and its provisions, including Article 10, which looks at political financing. Article 10 of the AUCPCC, and I quote, states, funding of political parties. Each state party shall adopt legislative and other measures to A, proscribe the use of funds acquired through illegal and corrupt practices to finance political parties, and B, incorporate the principle of transparency into funding of political parties. I think it's a landmark.
Majority Chief Whip and Member of Parliament for South Dain, Roxanne Nelson Dafiamekpo, has rejected the minority's demand for the Attorney General and Minister for Justice to appear before Parliament to explain the arrest and detention of Dennis Miracles Aboagye. Speaking in Parliament, Dafiamekpo argued The issue does not require the direct intervention of the Attorney General on the floor of the House. He said the arrest and detention were carried out in line with due process by the appropriate law enforcement agencies. This was after the minority called on the Minister of Justice to brief Parliament on the circumstances surrounding Mr. Miracle's arrest, citing concerns over transparency and the rule of law.
The minority leader has no right under the sun to suggest that where an investigative body has conducted a year-long investigation into a matter, has invited the suspects, and now has made a prima facie determination and is effecting arrest that may possibly lead to prosecution. The minority leader is on this floor saying that we should invite the Attorney General to come and respond to what? That we must not demand accountability from public office holders. Is it not the same man who stands on this floor and cautioning us that we as politicians we should be careful, and that it is the public servants who do all the things that we get blamed? And today when the public servant is getting blamed, you are saying that he shouldn't be blamed. So by all means we can do politics, but some of the things, Mr. Speaker, it must not be countenanced on this floor.
The Western Regional Branch of Grassroots Alliance for Victory 2028, a youth group within the New Patriotic Party, is calling for the resignation of the party's General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong. The group says the demand follows controversies and alleged irregularities that marred the recently concluded constituency executive elections across the region. Addressing the media, members of the alliance accused the General Secretary of failing to ensure fairness, transparency, and adherence to party guidelines during the polls. Unresolved disputes and grievances from the elections, they lament, have created tensions and disunity among grassroots members. They urge the New Patriotic Party's National Council and Steering Committee to act swiftly in addressing concerns raised by members at the constituency level.
The Grassroots Alliance for Victory 2028 Western Region Branch have convened this emergency press conference with deep concern and disappointment over the state of affairs in our great party following the directives issued by the General Secretary, Honorable Justin Kodia Frimpong Esquire, regarding the just ended and ongoing constituency executive elections. After careful review of the minutes of emergency meeting issued from the office of the General Secretary, and in light of the violence, chaos, and arrests that engulfed several constituency elections, which was held on Saturday and Sunday, we have arrived at only one conclusion. The General Secretary has failed in his core duty and mandate and must resign honorably. Our grounds for the demand are as follows. 1. Abandonment and disrespect to the grassroots delegates. The General Secretary has officially directed that the party will provide no transportation, no food, no drinks, and no water for delegates attending constituency elections. This is an insult to the very people who are the foundation of the NPP. These delegates sacrifice their time, money, and energy to build the party at the polling station level. To ask them to arrive, vote, live without even water under this sun is wicked, inhumane, and anti-grassroots. If the party is broke, then the leadership must take responsibilities, not punish the delegates. Leadership failure that resulted in violence and chaos during the Sunday and Saturday elections. That is point number 2. The constituency elections held on Saturday and Sunday were tragically marred by violence, confusion, and avoidable confrontations in several constituencies across the country. Report of thuggery, invasion of polling centers, and the arrest of individuals are a direct result of poor planning and lack of adequate security and logistical support. This is a total failure of leadership. The General Secretary, as Chief Administrator of the party, is responsible for ensuring that internal elections are peaceful, well-resourced and credible. Instead, his directives created the condition for chaos. The blood, fear and division we witnessed on Saturday and Sunday rests squarely at his doorstep. Point number 3, financial inconsistency and lack of transparency. The same statement admits that the party is in severe financial constraints and cannot afford 5,000 Ghana cedis for operations and 1,000 Ghana cedis for police and cannot pay TNT for delegates. Yet we all witnesses to how the General Secretary, as an individual, was able to pay nomination fees for all aspirants nationwide during a previous elections.
In business, the Bank of Ghana has revoked the dedicated electronic money issuer license on ZP Ghana Limited with immediate effect, citing multiple regulatory breaches and persistent failure to comply with regulatory directives. In the public notice dated July 14, the central bank said the revocation was based on the company's non-compliance, which it described as detrimental to the interests of users and providers in the payment service ecosystem. According to the Bank of Ghana, ZPay violated the Payment System and Services Act 2019 by issuing electronic money without maintaining corresponding cash backing, resulting in a negative variance that exposed customers and the payment system to risk. The company also failed to comply with regulatory directives to inject sufficient funds to fully back its e-money balances and to wind down its e-money issuance business. The central bank stated that ZPay's continuous use of the demi license constituent a threat to the stability of the payment system. The revocation follows a series of mounting legal and financial challenges for the fintech company, which had positioned itself as a leader in cross-border payment across more than 20 African markets. In April 2026, the commercial division of the High Court ordered ZPay and its founders and CEO Andrew Tachi appear to pay over $11.6 million to a customer for failing to execute fund transfers. Justice Afi Agbenu granted summary judgment after finding a reasonable defense had been raised. A critical aspect of that ruling was the court decision to hold Tachi appear personally liable based on evidence that a substantial portion of the disputed funds was deposited directly into his personal mobile money wallet. The company's chief financial officer had resigned in February 2026, raising material weakness and abuse in treasury operations, while editors and Young had withdrawn from the 2024 audit, citing serious concerns over the quality and reliability of information. In 2023, the Bank of Ghana had previously imposed a fine on ZPay and temporarily suspended its forex license for violating foreign exchange regulations. The companies of the Barbadian subsidiary Z-Money had its license suspended by the Central Bank of Barbados and subsequently applied for voluntary liquidation. ZPay is also facing a winding up petition from creditor Obsidian Limited over an alleged unpaid debt of $1.22 million. Under the Payment System and Services Act, a payment service provider and electronic money issuer whose license is revoked is required to arrange to pay customers all the electronic money held within 10 days. The Bank of Ghana reaffirmed its commitment to financial stability, consumer protection, and the integrity of the national payment system. In showbiz, Ghanaian actor and Deputy Executive Secretary of the National Film Authority, James Gardiner, has assured filmmakers that authorities are working on tougher measures to curb the illegal broadcast of movies by television stations in the country. His comments came during a conversation with Nollywood producer Uche Nambu, who expressed frustration over what he described as the widespread practice of some Ghanaian television stations downloading movies from YouTube and airing them without permission. Uchenna questioned why films produced with significant investment continue to be broadcast freely on television, arguing that the practice deprives filmmakers of revenue and discourages content creation. Responding to that, Gardiner acknowledged that a challenge exists and admitted it has become a major concern for Ghana's film industry. He explained that the National Film Authority has begun discussions with the Ministry of Communication, the National Media Commission, and the National Communications Authority to introduce stronger regulations for television broadcasters, particularly digital television stations. When Uchenna questioned why copyright laws had not prevented the practice, Gardiner acknowledged that existing legislation has not been effective. According to him, the proposed reforms will require all television stations to obtain fresh operating licenses, allowing regulators to identify broadcasters and enforce compliance more effectively. He expressed optimism that the reforms could be completed by the year. Gardiner also revealed that authorities intended to introduce strict sanctions for broadcasters found guilty of copyright infringement. Uchenna, whose production frequently features Ghanaian actors, said the issue has become increasingly frustrating and it affects producers' ability to earn legitimate income from their hard work. Copyright infringement has remained one of the biggest challenges facing Ghana's film industry. Producers have repeatedly raised concerns about unauthorized broadcast by television stations and online platforms, arguing that piracy continues to undermine investment in local and international film productions. If implemented, the proposed licensing reforms and strict enforcement measures could mark one of the most significant efforts in recent years to strengthen copyright protection and safeguard the earnings of filmmakers in the country. On global update, below average rainfall in Ivory Coast cocoa growing regions helped dry the damp soil last week, but farmers' sunny spells are needed to boost the September to February main crops, farmers revealed. The world's top cocoa producer is currently in its rainy season, which typically runs from April to mid-November. After heavy rains flooded plantations in some regions in late June, farmers said soil moisture remained very high and more sunny spells were needed to avoid crop disease. Farmers said they expect to have a clearer indication of the size of the next main crop by late August. They added that flowering would continue until September and the size of crop would depend on the number of flowers that will survive and turn into small pods. In the southern region and in the eastern region, where rains were below average, farmers said the sky was regularly overcast, preventing plantations from benefiting from sunny spells. They added it was crucial for the trees to get a good mix of suns and rains during the month for adequate development of the crop. In the west central region of Daula and the central region, where rains were below average, Yamoussoukro farmers said a mix of flowers and young pods known as the shirleys were appearing on trees. However, farmers fear the cold wind blowing since Friday could damage the crop. They also said supply from the bush was scarce at the moment as the meat crop was nearing its end. Weekly temperature across Ivory Coast ranged from 24.4 to 28.1 degrees Celsius. And that's it on the morning news broadcast. Thank you so much for sticking tuned to your radio. Do all to log on to all streaming platforms as well as log on to our website at www.GhanaTalksRadio.com for more news stories. I am Deborah Adoso. Do have a good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries,
Koko Nikosi, alo komi keshito.
wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Wake up, Ghana, your morning star, right? News, views, inspiration, and great conversations. From Accra to the world, we bring the fresh stories, fresh energy every morning, full of fire and glory. Rise and shine, come join the line. Your day begins when the voices align. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Your daily dose, here we go. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Only on Ghana Talks Radio. Turn it up and stay tuned for the talk that moves you and keeps your heart in tune. From the traffic to the trends, we got something for your day. Every voice, every vision, lighting up the way.
morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. This is your favorite online radio station. As usual, you can carry it along wherever you go. All you need to do is just download the app Ghana Talks Radio, and you are good to go. Remember that you're streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Do all to log on, send in your comments. We'll do all to read them back to you. Tell us your opinion on the topics we'll be discussing this morning, and it promised to be exciting and very insightful right here on the morning show. This is still your morning companion. This is the second segment of the show, and as you know it, we come along with knowledgeable guests who are going to be delving into the issues, sharing their informed perspectives on matters that matter to you every morning right here on the show. I'm still your host, Ruth Essen. Now I'm Fiagbedun. And joining me this morning in the studios is actually a new face, and I'm so excited, and I'm so curious. I just can't wait to hear from him. He's in the person of Mr. Shaibu Mako Nimanko, sorry, please forgive me. His name is Mr. Shaibu Nimanko Kujo. He's the NDC communicator, and he's going to be communicating with me, with us, all of us this morning right here in the studios. Mr. Enokake will also be joining us shortly. He's the NPP communications team member. Mr. Kujo, good morning to you, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Hope all is well.
My girls, I'm fine.
Oh, okay. We thank God. I came in. You were even here before I even came.
Yes.
That should tell how. Oh, okay.
And I've not been here before.
Is it quite a distance from here?
Yes.
It's quite a distance.
Yes.
Like how many minutes?
Okay, actually, like 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes journey.
Kolegono is it?
I'm like South.
Oh, okay.
The former Accra Mayor, Alfred Kovandapo's constituency.
His constituency. Which area is it closer to?
It's closer to Kolebu Teaching Hospital.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Yeah, I get a place now. It's good to have you. For him to be here all the way from Kolegono to this place. And he was even here before I even came to work. That should tell you how committed he is to, communicating, and he also can't wait to share his informed perspective on issues that matter to you right here on the morning show. Mr. Kujo, it's good to have you in the studios once again.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. They say real men wear pink, so I'm glad you're wearing pink.
Yes.
Yes.
It's one of my colors.
It's one of your colors.
Yes.
Pink is your favorite color. Oh, I like burgundy. People call it wine. If they can't call burgundy, then they say wine. Everything is wine. Anyways, before we get into the topic for discussion, but as part of the topic we'll be discussing this morning is going to be Paul Afoko's declaration and bid for the NPP national chairmanship. And the question is if he can unite the party. And as part of that, there's the trending issues about the Nkoko Nketen, where we heard the agric minister that the Nkoko Nketen that they said people should rent, make some money for yourself. You are chewing the chicken yourself. These are part of the issues we'll be looking at this morning. But before we get into it, yesterday in the evening, Dennis Miracle Abuaje was released from EOCO. After all the, the noise about the bail condition and also the protests, finally he's out. Mr. Kujo, what can you say to this?
Yeah. Good morning to my cherished listeners. It's good to have me here, and I think on Monday I went to have a program somewhere concerning the issue of Miracle Abuaje.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, his arrest happened at the Accra International Airport when he returned from a journey. And as he was arrested, a lot of people doesn't know why he was arrested. And people were saying a whole lot of things. But, before something would happen, measures has been taken in place before the thing actually happens. NDC came to power with one of their flagship campaign messages as oral. Operation Recover or Loot. So once they've declared their intention to make sure that they recover all the loot by the previous government, and even the people within the NDC, it means the president has come to work. And his work is not for the benefit of an individual, but it's for the benefit of all Ghanaians. Because we all saw what the previous government did to the economy of Ghana. And things were not in order. Increase of petrol prices, higher inflations, and other costs. Costs going up. So when the NDC came to power, they said, we are going to make sure all the monies looted by the previous government, we are going to recover them. So if you know your hands are clean, why then do you have to comment on the oral? Your hands are clean.
Comment as in or disrupt the activities of the
yes, like disrupting the activity of the president and the government as a whole. Saying that, oh, we embassy, it won't come on, they are just using it to disturb the country and other things. But when it catches you, that's why you know that it is not a thing that is being done to disturb the country. Okay, so Miracle Abuaji was arrested at the Accra International Airport based on certain things. Some will say that Abuaji was arrested and he wasn't given any political or any government appointment role or something, but just an ordinary communicator. But it wasn't so. Most of the MPPs in their own political party doesn't know why this man Miracle Abuaji was arrested. Okay, and they don't even know that he was even given an appointment. But you and I, now that the investigation took place, we all got to know that Miracle Abuaji was given an inter-ministerial committee on decentralization.
Right.
So it means,
sorry not to cut you. So are you saying that looking at all the submission and all the comments coming from the party members, it looks like they were unaware that Miracles actually held a position in the previous administration? That has to do with the inter-ministerial coordinating committee.
yes, most of them doesn't know, because they don't say they don't normally see him talking about his role in the service of the nation. So because of that, those that are not fully into the MPP activities, no, they don't just know anything about his appointment. But he was a secretary to that committee, and he was a presidential staffer as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, as well. So he was entitled to procurement issues and other government-related activities that has to do with local government. Okay, the development that the government is trying to engage himself in, he is the one representing, or he is the secretary to the ministerial appointees. Okay, on decentralization to the local government. So he is sending everything from the base to the newly developed regions. So if the man has been arrested, it means there is a money bias somewhere. So Abuaji was arrested because of things that we all know, causing financial loss to the state and other money laundering activities that took place. So the accountant to that committee, what was he paying, and why was he paying certain amount to refrain himself from the case? So once the amount is being paid, then it will draw attention to us that then there's someone behind the payment of those monies to the government accounts. So he was invited to come and be interrogated or to come and help in investigation. A lot of things happened at Iyoko. And you know, Iyoko is a crime place. When things happen of that sort, the government uses other legal machineries to take or interrogate or help the Attorney General to do its investigation and prosecute if it happens that you are found guilty. So Miracle Abuaji's release is not anything that has to do with politics. You know, Ghana is being run by constitutional means.
Yeah, because listening to some of his party members, they said he was actually being picked up. After the time, it wasn't brought to light as to why he was picked up. They mentioned that, emphatically from Richard Ahiagba, he mentioned that maybe Miracles was being picked up due to his, loud critics and strict critics on the current administration.
It's never so.
Right, but do you see anything wrong with his bail conditions? 50 million and 3 sureties of 2, which has to be justified.
50 million cedis.
50 million Ghana cedis,
yes.
and 3 sureties that 2 have to be justified. Do you see anything wrong? Do you think it was too much or unfair?
Okay. Before we come to that area, let me come to Richard Anyadba's area. Okay. You know, it is not only Richard Anyadba who is saying that because of its loud voices in communication and trying to say a lot of things that is about to expose the NDCs in their current affairs of the state. Okay, that's what people are saying. But Miracle Abuaji is not communicating anything meaningful to Ghanaians. He's only doing propaganda. He's just trying to bring things up that will rather expose the MPPs of their incompetence. I had a seat with one of the MPP guys in one of the radio stations, and he also related the same arrest to Abu Trigger's issue.
Oh.
Yes.
Really?
He said Miracle Abuaji was arrested just because they want to kill the issue of Abu Trigger.
But is Abu Trigger a party member of the NDC?
I don't know. It's never.
How is that related?
It's never. It was being like, and because of the president failure to intervene in Abu Trigger's issue, they intentionally picked Sami Miracle Abuaji so that nobody will talk about that guy's extradition.
But was the president expected to intervene in the extradition of Abu?
Yeah, he's saying he has the mandate to speak on behalf of the guy. But the whole thing about this guy is also a story on its own, which will come back to its own. So there is nothing wrong with the bail condition that surrounds Miracle Abuaji's release. You know, Miracle Abuaji was released on bail not because the investigation has ended, but because Ghanaians law allow a suspect to be granted bail while investigation continues, unless there are legal grounds to keep the person in custody. Okay, so in Ghana law like this, when a person is arrested, within 48 hours, the person should be given a bail. Then they process him before the court. So that's how come it was given a bail. And according to Yoko, it was arrested in connection with investigation into alleged financial and procurement
irregularities.
Yes, irregularities. Involving amount of 55 million Ghana cedis. Joe Istena, as executive secretary of the Interministerial Coordinating Committee on Decentralization. If you've been able to look something like 55 million, and even if we go into details, you see that apart from that 55 million, there are other related monies too that will also come on board.
As it stands now, Miracles, Abuaji is not the only person in that soup, let me say, or in that situation. There's also another guy who is also with him, which is Gerald Appiah. But it looks like no one is actually talking about him. And from the statement Yoko also released, it's alleged that this gentleman has already started refunding part of the money.
So you see that Miracle Abuaji, okay, after he handed over his role to the current administration, okay, he was invited, or he went there to do all the necessary things that he needs to do. So upon review, the question came and he answered most of them within a week. Okay, so it was released to go on a basis that we will call you when we need you for any other investigation. So later they called him, he wasn't coming. So the guy, Gerald Appiah, was also making efforts to make payments. So if someone is making an effort to do the payment, do you think we should go hard on that person? No, we shouldn't. And for all you know, Miracle Abuaji and Gerald Appiah are not the same. Abuaji is more exposed person, as in it's more known.
Yeah, it's more
than,
known than
than Gerald Appiah. So if anything, once we arrest him, the rest behind him would not be this thing hard to get them. So I think Gerald took a right step in paying his part of the monies. That's how come you don't heard much about him, even though he also answering cases at Yoko. But for now, it has not been mentioned widely because of how he treated the whole issue.
Well,
so
we keep hearing from the NDC that the Rambo stylers, which they are picking up people from the opposition party, is a bit worrying. And one question I want to ask is there a prescribed way of arresting people? Or do we even have the right as to how, when, and where we should be arrested? Or a person has to be arrested?
MPP are a party. That's when they get power. They try to do things the way they want.
They want.
Yes. They abuse the constitution. Okay? And they try to see how they disturb this man. This MP. Madina MP, what's his name?
Xavier. Is it Xavier? Sasu.
Yeah, Sasu.
Yeah.
Honorable
Sasu.
Sasu.
Yeah.
See, they went to his church anywhere at all, a sitting MP. Okay, which you can use procedural means to get the man from parliament. But you decide to go hard. So NDC and MPP, which people are practicing Rambo style in arresting people. So you showed us the way. So once you showed us the way, we also have to follow suit so that at the end of the day, we get the result we want to achieve. So they're standing outside the Yoko and being like, and the way NDC are doing things, and they are trying to go hard on people by arresting people in a Rambo style way. They started everything. See how they witch hunted our finance minister at 2,000 10 times on the Airbus activities. The ambulance, sorry. Issues. To the extent said they want to tarnish the man. The same thing they did to this man, Collins Dauda. Rambo style way. See this man, Victor Salome, even died in prison. And you are saying that you are being disturbed or you are being arrested in a Rambo style way. NPP party, if you don't know them, Master, there is no way these people will come to power and they wouldn't retaliate. If not because of Atta Mills, like most of them that assume power during Akufo-Addo's era, you wouldn't have seen them because former late president Atta Mills said that let's bygones be bygones and let's start afresh. That's how come you didn't. But even with that, it should send.
But Atta Mills became president before Akufo-Addo, so how is that?
Atta Mills?
Yes.
Yes. No, what I'm saying is Atta Mills became president and all the loot that occurred in Kufuor's era. Okay.
You mentioned Nanado.
Yes.
You mentioned Nanado instead
of... then sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, the loot that occurred in Kufuor's era, Okay.
The alleged.
Yes, the alleged loot that occurred in his era. Athanios came and was like, "It's gonna be a father for all," which most people in the NDC didn't like the idea. But at the end of the way, we allow things to go the way the president wants it to go, and the man fought corruption. So if it has come to your turn, you have to use liberal means to arrest or to interrogate the people, but using the Rambo style way. And now that it is your turn, you expect us to come peaceful for you? If things were to be in order, or if they want us to handle things in a safer way, then they shouldn't have allowed Ken Oforiatta to travel outside the country. Yes, like they shouldn't allow him to travel outside the country. Once, if Oforiatta were to be arrested, like you see a lot of things that would have happened. To the extent, say, an alleged case came that the PA to Ken Oforiatta alone was making or made $4 billion. $4 billion, and I don't know if you are aware of this case. $4 billion. So the dad have to ask the guy to resign before he's being called before Yoko. So the guy have to resign, and he resigned. And so the same thing happened to a lot of people that connected in the loot of Ken Oforiatta. So if this man were to be in Ghana, I don't think the Rambo style way that they are calling for this arrest would have happened. Like they'll be invited and then they present their cases before each and every one. Then we see how to handle this case.
Right. So as it stands now, Miracles Abuaje has been released, and I'm very, very, very positive that there's definitely going to be a new development on this particular case, because he's already under investigation on the alleged 55 million loots that actually happened under his tenure as the executive secretary of IMMCOD. Yeah. So that is this. This is still the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio TV, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Actually, wish that the NPP communicator was already here so we can delve into the issue of Paula Foko's bid. But unfortunately, I guess he's still on his way, and he'll be joining us shortly. But before we get into that, I think we'll jump straight to our second topic for discussion. That happens to be the Nkukon Kitten. Well, I think a week ago, we heard from the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Eric Opoku, who addressed a major setback in the government's flagship poultry initiative, popularly known as the Nkukon Kitten program. And speaking before Parliament's Government Assurance Committee, the minister revealed that several beneficiaries have been slaughtering and eating the distributed birds instead of rearing them to grow their businesses, with some individuals even sending him video of evidence of themselves doing so. We were actually expecting the minister to come out to tell us a success of this initiative, but as it stands now, it's not a success. Or Mr. Kujo, do you think it's a success story? Looking at what he told the Public Assurance Committee.
Yeah, with the issue of Nkukon Kitten, it's a nice initiative that the government brought to make sure that we consume what we real.
Yeah, what we grow here.
Yeah, what we grow.
Yeah.
So by so doing, it will just take the burden of importing chicken from outside, so that we also have a stable finance to run the country. So the government has done everything possible to put this in its manifesto.
Yeah.
So that at the end of the day, when Ghanaians treat this issue well, it will be a benefit for Ghanaians. Most homes, or you don't even need to pick car to a long distance before you can get your eggs. You can easily get your eggs from your neighbor, because it was alleged that every constituency, okay, at least if 50 people are giving births, let's assume that it will eat a lot of things, and it will also bring down the prices of eggs. Now eggs has come down. Gone are the days you and I wasn't able to even buy egg, because egg was drawing closer to 6 cities.
What, for one?
For one egg.
Oh, are you sure?
Yes.
I think it was rather drawing closer to 3 cities, because
No,
as it
please.
stands now you can even get 3 for 5 cities.
No, what I'm saying is, I said formally, okay, egg was drawing closer to 6 cities.
Which was during the tenure of the NPP.
Yes.
It was drawing closer to 6
Yes.
cities. Mr. Kuja, are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure, because
Because I eat eggs a lot. And I buy eggs almost
yes.
every
Okay,
day.
maybe I don't know where you've been buying yours. Okay, and every community and the price that they give to goods and services, and that's if we don't have stable prices, people use every means to take a lot from the customers.
Yeah.
So this thing that the president did was to ease and also to create business for you and I. And to be honest with you, the prices given to how do you call it, their feeds is expensive. The government just gave you,
as in the food products they buy for these birds.
yes.
Okay. And that is being provided by the government.
No, initially, earlier on, the government gave 1 sack of
Poultry feeds.
starter,
Okay.
poultry feeds called starter, to those who got theirs earlier.
Oh, okay. So it was
Okay.
part of the package.
So it was part of the package.
So when you get the birds, you get
And
the
yeah.
poultry feeds
Yeah.
attached to that.
Yes. So some people got earlier on 50 beds, and they were given 1 sack to
Of
start.
poultry
And,
feed.
and I can assure you that in less than 6 days,
6.
in less than 6 days, the birds will consume everything. And one goes for 400 cedis. 1 sack
Goes for 400.
goes for 400. So let's assume.
But is that not a burden rather to the person you are intending to give the job to? Because if within 6 days they have been able to consume just 1 sack, that means that in the next 6 days, and that person that you distributed the 50 birds to have to also go and purchase, look for 400 cedis down. Whereas this person doesn't have money. Is that not an additional burden to the individual?
So some people, because the government said it's giving free bed to people, they just walk to where the distribution is being done and they collected theirs, and mostly the party members benefited a lot from it, which I think is good. Okay, because if something has come, you don't have to let it go outside before you talk about it.
So you take care of the party loyalists before you take care of those outside.
It happens everywhere.
So you admitted that was how it went.
Yeah, it should go that way.
Okay.
Yeah, but most people from the other party also benefited a lot, because they also had friends from the ruling party. And scratch my back, let me scratch your back.
Okay,
That's how the thing went.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, most of them also benefited from it, and they can even boast to you, say, "Oh, me people that I am MPP, I have bet from the NDC that you don't have," teasing the party loyalists with this, which is bad. Okay, so people have to sit and then practice or put things into order before they go for the bet. Most of them even go for the bets, and they couldn't reel them.
Why couldn't they read them? Was it that they didn't have the skill or the
Yes,
know-how?
yes.
The know-how to.
Most doesn't have the skill,
To
and
read
they don't
them.
even have the place.
So before you were giving the bets out, were these part of the criteria before you gave the bets out?
That is what it's supposed to be.
But was it the
Okay.
case?
Yes, it was done in some areas because earlier on people were not all that familiar with the activity. So one or two that wrote their names, they have to go and investigate or check where they are going to rail their bets before they can be given the bet. So when they come and they see that, okay, you have a space, let me say, okay, this place can take like 20 here. Okay, then they'll give you the 20. Then they have to make sure, do you have means to support? God, the government intention was for you to rail them. When you are done, the government will give you buyers, or I'll come with my price, or I'll buy it from you and then process it in the normal way. So at the end of the day, we'll be having a frozen in the machine in the country. Okay, that's be catering for the fowls or the birds, and at the same time we can be consuming some in the country, and we also be exporting some as well. So most didn't have the know-how, and they don't also have the capacity before they went in. So as soon as they go in for their bets, they have no option because the bets are 2 weeks to the sense. Say if you don't vaccinate them, they may die. And every time too, you have to be giving them some medicines like multivitamins and then antibiotics and other medicines involved that to keep them active. And their feed, one sack 50 kg, okay, it's like 400 cedis. So let's assume, say, when the chicks also start to grow, okay, their eating habit changes. They'll be consuming more. So it means in every 3 days you have to, if you want them to come to a weight that you want, so that you can sell it at the price you want. If not, forget. So some people have invested a lot, and some are not having the skills in selling. So once selling becomes a problem, then let me consume what I've grown. That's what people are doing. So I think the government over here should also help the people that have engaged themselves in the poultry activities, so that it can also go in as a mentioned earlier on. So it will find their challenges and then see to how it can come in for them to get their things sold out. Than sitting them, people consume them not because they want to, because there's no bias. And you know, if you have made a budget for them, say, okay, I can use like 10 sacks to feed, and it is not only starter. Okay, we have the starter. When they grow to, let me say 5 weeks or something, you have to change from starter to growth.
Oh, okay.
To grow for them.
So each stage at which the fowl actually gets to comes with its own feed.
Yes. We have feeds for starter. We also have feeds for growth. Okay. And you know, with a starter, you sometimes have to go to the gaffer or some of the place that they do the food, they prepare the foods and buy the starter. If you try to do it on your own, you might cause problem, and you might even lead to the death of the birds. And from there too, when they also grow to certain stage, that is where you don't have to use the growth again. You have to use finisher.
Oh, okay.
So
it's just like you giving birth to a baby.
Yes.
When a baby is giving birth to fresh, you have to feed it with
breast milk.
And when it gets to a certain stage, you
porridge
to give it Cerelac. Then it comes to porridge. So that is how.
So you know nan 1, nan 2, nan 3.
Yeah. So that is what happens to the fowl as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then that's a whole lot of work.
Yes. So like poultry is not for the week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for the week. So most people that went to collect those, because it is an initiative from the president, that is why they went into it to get the birds. But if you are to sit, some people even ended up selling their birds prematurely.
Oh.
Yes, to the poultry farming, because maybe I don't have a space, but because it is an initiative from the government, let me go for mine. You've come, you don't have a space for the beds.
Right.
So now you don't go and negotiate with a poultry farmer. Please, can you keep my best for them and for me? Then you'll be like, I don't have space, but if you can sell your best to me, I can buy.
Right. You mentioned that before the beds are being distributed to these individuals, you make sure that you do some checks. You check the places where the beds are going to be. You check the area, which is the hen coop. And also you find out if the person has been a poultry farmer before. If the person
Or is into farming.
Or is into
poultry farming.
Or is into farming.
Okay.
But you, in your submission, you mentioned that it got to a point you were not checking all of these things, all of these criteria. Why?
Actually, the people now coming for the beds increased in, because it's like we started something within this enclave. Okay, so we know the number of people around. I've come to you. Okay, you want some? Okay, these are the measures put in place before you can acquire one. So as you saw the benefit, you communicated to some people outside your enclave, and it also travels. So as and when it travels, it means we have to have, we have to also increase in our supervision staff. But failure to increase them led to the staff.
Right. So would you say that with all the issues of people slaughtering their beds now, instead of rearing them to grow and also reproduce, is as a result of the failure of the government to implement the Nkokon Kitten properly?
No, I'm not saying this is happening as a failure of the government to implement,
of not implementing it properly.
Yeah,
because you gave some of the beds to the people that didn't even deserve to have the beds.
Yes.
What
I'm saying is, the government did well by bringing this on board.
The government did well by bringing this on board, but the implementation
was a problem. So people, things should be in order, or people should be put in place so that before, and there should be a center that all those that are interested in the Nkokon Kitten should apply from this. So it shouldn't be something that will come directly from the constituency, or even if it's coming from the constituency, all the people that needs them should go and write their name from the constituency office. Then executives should come from that constituency. Then they do their background checks on the person applying for the beds. When they qualify, you send their names. Then we also have external checks from maybe the Ministry of Agriculture. Okay, so also delegate people to come and inspect from the constituency at which the people are applying for the beds. So when they come and you see that all their things are intact, okay, before you give them the bed. So it shouldn't be like something that I know you know me, then I give you the bed without doing any further checks on where you are going to real the checks, or whether you have a poultry farm or you have experience in it or not. And some also started this with, or started poultry farming with this initiative, and some also got the experience through that, which I think it has also helped in some of them. But this heavy rainfall that's occurred,
yeah, some of the
farmers were a lot were affected. A lot were affected. Some people also has to do with, because they don't have buyers. Some were fortunate that most their birds didn't die. But their challenge is bias. Okay, so due to that, if you have budgeted for, let me say, I'm rearing this thing, or I budgeted like 5,000 cedis to take care of this, but at the end, when I sell them, I'm gonna get like, let me say, 20,000. Okay, Now, the budget that you made was 5,000. So after the 5,000 is exhausted, anything that you incurred that goes in is a loss to you.
Yeah. So if the government was to implement this properly, what are some of the strategies you recommend the government to put in place to make sure that we don't see people actually slaughtering and some of the best that were given to them, but rather to make sure that it gives them job? Because the reason as to why President John Dramani Mahama brought this initiative was because we were heavily dependent on importation of feeds,
birds
or
chicken.
That should and reading the budget, you could tell the amount of money that was actually
allocated.
That was actually going into the importation of chicken.
Yeah.
That we could have actually done here. So that was why this initiative was brought on board. So we eat our locally rare chicken. Now they are indeed eating it. So if there should be a chance that you should right your wrongs, what will you do properly?
Okay, actually, with those that are alleged to be eating and taking pictures of the birds to the minister, I don't think they are party loyal people. Loyal people. Yes, in everything, if I'm an NDC man, okay, and NPP is in power, I have to make sure things doesn't go on the way it should go for them to manage the country well. Not as in sabotaging the government, but I also have to make sure my party comes to power. So that is what the MPPs are doing. They will go, or some of them that I said, they also got entitled to the fowls or to the birds. So once they got theirs and they couldn't, or they weren't able to sell, or they were able to sell them poor, they can also go and buy things from outside and then be like, enuni, chawi. Yeah. So it will be
I get you.
means for that.
Yeah.
But my education.
So in a nutshell, you think that is the NPP?
That it is them. They can do that very well. They are very good.
You don't think that your party loyalists can also do this?
It will be hard for them to do it.
Are you sure?
Because if you are a party member, okay, and you want your government to succeed, I don't think you do things that will disturb the government.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
There are some Judases.
Oh, even though there are some Judases in power, they wouldn't do to that extent. And I'm telling you that the people that are involved in this activity, I know most MPP people. Okay, as I told you, they'll be telling you that I'm from MPP, but I'm having like 50 bits. You say you do NDC, but you don't get anything from it. So it means see the rate at which they are getting, and you even ask, how did they get the chance to even get the bits? So they've had ways and means to to expose the government. Okay, but all Jandam is going to be killed. Okay, nobody is going to give room for any Jandam. And NPP, if you don't take care, they might not cross 30% this time round.
So do you think that these beneficiaries of the Nkokon Kitten should be probed? Because at least you have brought out a nice initiative. You have distributed best to people. But has the government taken initiative to be going back to, supervise if indeed that the project is actually yielding results? Have there been anything that has been set aside or any committee? Because I haven't seen or even heard that any committee, or let's say it could be people in the community to.
Okay, there's a saying that goes.
Or even the agric minister.
Yeah. The agric minister actually, okay, have done well, and they're saying that by others' fault, white men correct their own. Okay. Now, let's say when free SHS came, okay, the free SHS, sorry, let me delve into it before I Like they are interrelated. Okay, now the free SHS, no, NDC is succeeding in it because of the MPP. Why? Because initially when they started it, they just want people to know that yes, I came out with this social intervention something, so I have to succeed. So they hurriedly implemented it to the extent say they don't put measures in place.
But is that not the same thing that the NDC is also doing?
That's what I'm saying, that I'm come to relate it to
with the
yes. Okay, so at the end of the day, we've seen the challenges that the MPP faced, and we don't want to go back to their challenges again. That's how come we've put things in place so that at the end of the day we can succeed in that area. So now that the people are saying that, or the minister has come out to say that some people are eating their nkukon, okay, and therefore it is not advisable for them to be doing that. We gave it to you to boost your business or to enhance you. At the end of the day, you are eating. If you are eating, but just eat it cool. But you are showing me videos of you eating your. So those that are trying to engage in that activity, they should be invited. Once they are invited, you don't just prosecute them, you interrogate them. So after the interrogations, that's where you see the challenges that people are facing. So from there, it can even help you to come out with new initiatives.
Yeah. For me, I'm wondering how like an individual can be just cruel to him or herself. The fact that you are unemployed, you don't have a job, and the government has brought up an initiative to help you at least make some income, in as much as the government is also going to generate revenue from that, in terms of, you know, the government will even purchase from you the chicken, the fowls, and also the eggs that you've been able to get from the birds. But you sit and then you tell yourself that you are not going to do anything to help yourself. But the best thing that you think is actually good for you is to actually slaughter these birds, consume them, and when you're about to consume them, you take a video, a picture, and then you send it to the agric minister. How are they even going to take us seriously if we even tell the government that we don't have a job?
That's what I'm saying, that
like
the people that are doing it are not from the NDC.
You think they are not from
yes,
the NDC?
Most of them are not from NDC. Okay.
Well, Afenyo Markin has added his voice to this whole issue of the Nkukon Kitten program. The minority leader in Parliament, Alexander Afenyo Markin, has called on Iyoko to investigate beneficiaries of the government's Nkukon Kitten program who allegedly consume the birds distributed to them instead of using them for the program's intended purpose. He argued that the birds were provided under a state-funded intervention. The state actually funded this intervention and was designed to support livelihoods and boost poultry production, and therefore beneficiaries who consume them rather than rearing them should be held accountable for the misuse of public resources. And he made these remarks on the floor of Parliament, which was yesterday, during a discussion on the implementation of the program. And according to him, the beneficiaries were expected to rear the birds, sell them, and reinvest the proceeds to sustain the initiative. And he said that those that have eaten the birds, Iyoko should actually grab these people, probe them, and if there's any sanction that has to be given to them, they should be given to them. Mr. Kujo, do you agree with Afenyo that Iyoko should be involved in this? Because it was funded by the state, and in a way, for me, I think I agree with his.
As I told you earlier on, okay, the purpose of the Nkukon program is to improve local poultry production.
Yeah, boost the poultry.
Yes, enhance food security and also create sustainable livelihoods. So if there are isolated cases where some beneficiaries misuse the birds, those cases should be investigated. But they should not be used to judge the entire program. Okay.
So this program, as I said, responds to stronger monitoring beneficiary education. So education, I think, should be a base than to call them before Yoko. What has Yoko got to do with the beneficiary of the whilst they have someone stealing 550 billion cedis?
Who is that?
Oh, we just mentioned his name.
Oh, it's an allegation, please. You can't.
It's what, an allegation?
Oh, it's an allegation.
Okay.
Can you prove that he has?
Don't worry. It will come out soon.
It
will come soon. So what I mean is, okay, if even it's an alleged something, you mean the government should leave the more serious ones to attend to, the small ones that are even finding it difficult to get themselves morning meal to eat.
But Mr. Kujo, look at this. The government has actually set money aside to buy beds and then distributes these beds to individuals. And in as much as it is serving as a job opportunity for you, the individual, it is also serving as a revenue for the government to boost the poultry sector and also reduce the rate at which we import chicken into the country, and also make it really accessible for us to also get eggs. So in a way, the government is investing into you. And I believe that as an investor, if I invest into your business, I'm expecting that at the end of the day, I'm supposed to get a profit.
Yeah.
And if I don't get profit, I have every right to take you on. So this is what Afenyo Markin is saying.
Yes, and what I'm saying is, okay, if you want to take someone on, okay, most people that became beneficiaries to the Nkongtingeti happened not to be much educated. So much education were not given
to these people.
So
that means the
government needs to educate the people on this project. So after the education, you have to also give them, or you also have to assess them if they have the capacity, okay, to go in for the beds. Just as I told you, people are not having the bed hubs, right? The bed coop to raise the hen coops to raise the beds, okay, and they also doesn't have a lot of things in place. They don't even have money. Could you believe that some people are feeding the beds with our normal corns?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you think this will go? So they need education. So let's assume, say, I'm hungry, okay, and I've been able to raise money at a tune of 2,000 cedis to take care of my beds, and I'm not getting by. I'm hungry. I know the money I'll use to purchase fish or something outside, I can easily slaughter one of my bed and then make a meal with it.
So you're trying to justify what the people are doing.
I'm not justifying. What I'm saying, they should be given education, and they also need to be given support for the caring of the beds, because it's expensive. That's what I'm saying, that poultry or farming is not for the weak. The government needs to assess as well, because there are some people that rush to get the best, which I said they don't have the means. So if it should be like, okay, in every constituency we are looking at, let me say, 50 strong people who can manage or who can take care of the beds. So once you bring the strong means capacity to have, if you have money, okay, you are capable to make sure the beds are in order all the time. Even buying sawdust for them becomes people's problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so people didn't put or calculated the risk in this poultry farming before they entered into it. So government should come out boldly, okay, educate the people, or information service should go around to educate the people on it.
So that was
by so doing it will. So after the education, everything, if you are now prosecuting the people who are involved in the eating of the best activity here, if you are probing them, there's no problem with that.
There's no problem with that. So you think that as it stands now, the government didn't do things properly, so it wouldn't be just nice.
I'm not saying the government didn't.
But
do
you just
things.
mentioned that
No.
education didn't go on.
So it doesn't mean say it didn't do things nicely.
But they didn't no. If they did it properly, we would be here where we are. We will
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Maybe you are saying that. You won't say that. Okay, the government has done its way.
From your
no, the government has done its part by coming out with that initiative. So it is left with us to also apply knowledge to it.
But
so if you feel to apply the knowledge, now the government now saying that people are facing these challenges, then that also opens way for the government to come in with education on poultry farming. That's what I mean.
Right, I get you. This is still the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio TV, on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on X at Ghana Talks Radio. Are you also part of the people that are eating the best? Where are you supposed to be running them and making money for the government? Are you part of them? What do you also think? Do you think that the government's rush with this implementation? Do you think that the government didn't put things in the right structure to make sure that this Nkokon Kitten program actually yielded results? What do you think? You can also share your opinion with us in the comment section. Mr. Kujo, I don't know what is happening, but we were supposed to have our MPP communicator join us, but unfortunately he's not here yet. And on the topic that we are here to discuss on has to be about the NPP, but I don't know if you can share your 2 cents. If you can share your 2 cents, I don't know if you can share your 2 cents on that as well. I believe you know Paula Foko, and I believe you've heard about him. Can you tell us who he is? Do you think that he's going to be the right person? Do you think that he's going to be the right person to, lead the NPP?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for this question. Now the MPP are now stranded.
You think they're stranded?
Yes, they are stranded because their party is now scattered. So now the party is scattered, they have to find ways and means to get someone who can reunite the party. That's the whole thing. And looking at some people that have come out that they want to be the chairman of the party.
So far, how many people do you know have come out to you?
Oh, so far, I will not mention much names, but those that have availed themselves are the people that I'm trying to talk about. Like Efria Kuto has come out, okay, and this man, Chairman Untumi, has come out, and also, just last week, this man also declares his intention.
Which man?
Poafuku.
He did that yesterday.
So within last week to this week, okay, he has declared his intention. Now let's look at the scorecards of all these people and the charisma they carried in their party. Okay, the respect that they command, the people that they can command in a party. Let's look at that. Okay, now if the people have trust in you, okay, then you are good to go. Who is this Poafoko? Poafoko has been a loyal man to the MPP, a very good leader. In fact, his administration together with Sir John, okay, was very good. And they achieved the victory of the MPP. But it's rather unfortunate that before the government assumes office, then all those wahala came in, that it wasn't in support of Akufo-Addo's candidature.
So that is why he was suspended.
Yes, he was suspended out of that. And see the things that came up after his suspension, after he was suspended. A lot. You see, if someone does good for you, you have to appreciate the person. You don't have to let the person goes unpaid or unrewarded. Else, whatever the person says about you will follow you. So when you are dealing with someone, you have to be very particular about the person. This Paul Afoko, they even went ahead to say that it is not in support of any initiative proposed by the then flag bearer Akufo-Addo. Okay, a lot of issues surrounded his suspension. Now, the man is saying that the party is going wayward, and if care is not taken, they might, or the party might collapse. The party might collapse. So you and I know that Paul Afoko coming, may reunite the party in a way. But the party now has no credible person.
You think so?
Oh yeah, if they have credible person, like someone like Chairman Wontumi wouldn't have gone to contest for the chairmanship position. But all the same, Wontumi is playing a game with Ghanaians. The game is playing with Ghanaians. He just wants the chairmanship so that he wouldn't go to jail.
Oh, you think so?
Oh yeah, yeah. Why do you think they are trying to delay delay the court processing?
But he becoming the national chairman does not mean that he's going to escape jail if he's found guilty.
Okay. Let me give you something. If Chairman Wontumi becomes the chairman, right now the MPP cannot say that someone among them is being jailed illegally, because now Wontumi and his company are individual entity. Okay, or they are not affiliated with MPP. It's just a former regional chairman. But this time round, if he becomes the current elected national chairman, the flag bearer can go on air and be that, come and look at what the NDCs are doing to my chairman. But right now, it's not a chairman. It's the Kumasi people who can say that, but where does their voice also go? But now, if he becomes the national chairman, that is where you have a claim to defend him at the courts. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yes, that's the whole thing. So he is not coming as a chairman because of the party, but for his own interests. So that's how come Chairman Afoko has also been like, okay, now that this has happened, let me also come and try the waters and see how things are going to be done. Afoko is a very nice man. Okay, the respect that some people in the NPP has for him oversees some people to the extent that more than the former president, because this man came to pollute everything in Ghana. But this man, in his time, you saw how things went in the NPP some years back. Okay, things were scattered because of the court issue in 2012. After the things were scattered, they were fighting over their flag bearership, and there was an agreement, and that agreement has to do with this man.
this man Alan Tremantin. After everything, Akufo-Addo won. So they were thinking, say, Akufo-Addo shouldn't have gone after the 2012, but they should choose Alan Tremantin. That's how come they had issue with Paul Afoko. Or you don't side with me?
Yeah.
So if this has happened, okay, it means the party wouldn't be in a good shape when it comes to choosing of their flag bearership. Why do you think NPP rushed in getting Bawumia for the second time as their flag bearer? Under normal circumstances, it shouldn't go the way it went, because before an executive member or leading executive member, okay, contest in an election, he has to make sure that the subordinates, okay, are elected first, because they are going to give you the mandate. But using the old executives to renew your mandate now, it means there's something somewhere. Okay, if things were allowed to go the way it should go, like by now, NPP will be having people to contest for the flag bearership role. But immediately, no. In fact, let's come. Immediately after the election, 2025, that same 25, you elected your flag bearer. Where is this done? You have to elect your polling station executives. Then you elect your constituency executives. If possible, ward executives as well. Then you come to regional. After that, then you come to national. Then from there, you come to the flag bearer itself, together with the MPs. But they turn things around.
Because they mentioned that is going to unite their party.
And as it stands, it has rather scattered the party than before. Because how can you go ahead? How can you go and be like, you have some scenes for this man, you have some scenes, 20 scenes of Kennedy Japan, 20 scenes for Bawumia, 20 scenes for this man. The guy who wanted to buy La Palm Hotel, Brian Achampong. Okay, so you see, and this will go to primaries, and you see how things will go. If the party is having its directorate and everything, things will be aligned the way it should go.
But do you think that Paul Afoko is the right person to lead there?
Paul Afoko,
because
because
even after his suspension, he has been very honest with the party that looking at how things are going, if they don't put so and so into structures, it's going to worry them a lot.
Why do you think they won the 2016 election? It was the effort of Paul Afoko.
Right. So you think he's the right person to lead the party?
Even though this time around they are not going to get it easy, because the mess has been caused already. But at least it can put some internal structures in place. So Paul Afoko can bring discipline to the party, but his discipline will only be internal. It wouldn't come outside the NPP, because the NDC, you and I know how things are going in the country. We wouldn't like anybody to come and distract things in the country.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Right. But looking at the person of Paul Afoko, who has been suspended for decades, and he was granted amnesty just last year.
2025.
Yes, 2025. Do you think that the delegates will consider to rally behind someone of his persona?
Yes. If not for bias sake, delegates should go for Paul Afoko
rather than
the rest contesting him, because at least he has been tried and tested. Okay, and he passed. He helped in the victory of MPP in the 2016 election. So if you are trying to bring someone who can reunite the party, why not try him? The same thing happened in the MPP election, because if things were to go the way it should go, I don't think Bawumia would have become the next MPP flag bearer, because there are other competent people there that can also fit, that are fit to replace Bawumia in his position. But because they knew what they are going to do, what they're doing, that's how come they did that election, for them to give that man the mandate to leave the game. But if care is not taken and Bawumia is not having his choice, okay, it is going to be like Bawumia, it is going to be like Afoko and Akufo-Addo. And yeah, why? Because at the time of Afoko, they suspected that Afoko was not in support of Bawumia, of Akufo-Addo. Okay, that's how come they prepared everything possible to suspend him, and they succeeded in doing that. So if the man has been suspended right from 2016, right from 2015,
Right, 2015.
okay, it was suspended. You, this President Akufo-Addo, you've been in power. Why didn't you give him the amnesty? And that the 8 years that you spent.
So that should tell
but
you that
it is
there are
rather
there are still internal troubles in.
Yes. So if not Akufo-Addo were to leave power, I don't think they would have given him the amnesty. And if I were to be Paul Afoko, I wouldn't even bother to join the MP again. Yes, because this is total selfishness.
Why? He has mentioned that he has forgiven the party.
Yes, he has forgiven the party. But has the party also forgiven him? If the party were to forgive him, it should have been done when MPP was in power.
But now that they are out of
power, and they want something to reunite them, you went back door to go and apologize to the man.
It's a lot. So
whilst he could have used a lot of state structures to restructure or to reunite the party.
Right. So what would be your advice for the NPP before we leave?
Oh, my advice for them.
being your opposition party.
Me, I'm an NDC.
Yes, we need a strong opposition.
And they have to bring someone to us who will give us challenge.
Challenge.
Yes.
You are open to challenge.
Oh yeah, we are open to challenge, because if you know what you have done, if you know the work you have done, you are not afraid to anyone who come and distract your way. Yes, you and I know that NDC has worked right from the time they assumed office, and they are still working in terms of our economy, in terms of utility, in terms of our four issues. Now, gone are the days that we said Ghana is having four challenge, and the cedi is always lower than the dollar or the foreign currency. Okay, and we affiliate or associate this to the Ukraine and Russia war, to the COVID-19 and other things. Things are just being held higher because of these wars. But President Zuma came in the midst of that same war. He has stabilized the economy. So the stabilization alone will tell you and I that we are not afraid of anybody the MPP brought on board. Bawumia there is not a match for us. Yeah. No, if it were to be
the audacity.
Oh, come on. Bawumia is not a match for us at all. No, if you know someone in the morning, you don't need to light a candle to watch the person's face.
Out how he looks like in the evening.
Yes, we know Bawumia already. Yes, even if they don't take care, Bawumia might resign before the time of election.
Hey.
Yes, because what message is he having for Ghanaians? Right. Are you going to embark on your predecessors, that is Kufuor, who even came to disturb Ghana?
okay, as your campaign messages for Ghanaians, or you are going to still use the free SHS for Ghanaians?
Right.
What message are you bringing on board?
Right. Listening to Paul Afoko's delivery yesterday, he said he has consulted Nana Dodanko Akufo-Addo, he has consulted Kufuor as well, and they've all given him their support for him to run for the national chairmanship. So we can't say anything but
I don't want to go what goes on in their internal affairs. Okay, but my focus is what the harm they caused to this man. If I were to be Paul Afoko, I wouldn't even have respected Akufo-Addo for anything. Yes, because see, it has the chance. Look at listen, international extradition. Okay, that has come. People are even saying that John Mama would have influenced the arrest of Abu Trika. So if in the international bodies, okay, you are accusing John Mahama for allowing the guy to be taken to other country for prosecution. If you are accusing John Mahama for that, why didn't also Akufo-Addo use your powers as president of Ghana? And then now that you have become the president, you are the leader of your party. Why didn't you use your leadership role to reconcile or to bring this man on board to help in the administration? So Paul Afoko has made a very big mistake by going to Akufo-Addo to endorse him. If I were him, I would go to the other people in the MPP and ignore this man for him to know that what he did was very bad. If not that Paul Afoko was having his own businesses and money that is using to support the party, okay, it means the man would have just been left idle like that.
But
And you know the prince.
Yeah, but you know that if he doesn't do that, that means that he has not forgiven the party. If he says he has,
if he hasn't what?
If he doesn't consult all these,
it wasn't Nanado.
elders in the
It wasn't
party.
Nanado. Who suspended him? It was their party hierarchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With the help of the Council of Elders.
Yeah, Council of
Okay.
Elders.
That suspended him. So now that he's coming, or now that he has helped right from 2013 that he assumed office, he has worked for MPP. Oh, sorry. After the court case, after the court case that they went for election and won, okay, and it became the chairmanship. He has helped that to support the NPP, so that now that he has helped for you to come to power. Even the time you suspended him, it was a few months or just a 1 year to election. So he has done the internal works already. So you now have the power. Okay, this if it were to be John Mahama, only if the person suspended is willing to reconcile with the party. Okay, right now as I'm talking to you, if this man, this man, what's his name? The guy who works with Atta Mills, the former deputy secretary of NDC.
Is he doing it?
Not the former deputy secretary.
Deputy secretary.
Oh, this man, Anido.
Okay.
Okay, if Anido were to come to the NDC hierarchies, I said that, my people, I'm wrong. I know I've done a very great song to the party. Okay, I come to you for forgiveness. I don't think John Mama will decline. Okay, he will never decline. He will forgive the man and then ask the party hierarchy or as well to also forgive him. Then he will be welcome to the party again. So Nado would have also used that channel to bring the man back to the party, but you didn't. So what respect do you want me to have? Do you want me to have for you? It's like you've given birth to a child, okay, and the child tries to go wayward, and you took him out of your children. Now the guy has gone to fight his own fight. He has made his money. The people that he cherished weren't able to get things done by their own. They are being supported, and they couldn't even stand on their feet in terms of finance. Okay, now the dad is sick, and the son has come to take care of the father. That is weird.
All right, Mr. Kujo.
Yeah.
It's been interesting. Thank you so much. But before we leave, do you have any last words?
Oh, my thanks to President Mahama and Alfred Okuvandapoy and my big man, that is our DCO, Deputy Communications Director of Ablikma South, is doing massively well in the person of Honorable William Amenuvo. The guy is really doing well, and we are going for our election, and I believe those to listen to me, we need a mandate renewal, so kindly vote for William Amenuvo for me, and in no time you'll see the work that this man is doing to support the Ablikma South constituency. Now, yesterday I was passing through Mokola area around Melcombe, and I saw the Accra mayor. The man was working and is doing very well. Okay, he should carry on with his work, and thanks to him for what he was exercising yesterday, because the people, when you go to Mokola, do you normally go to the place? When you go to Mokola, you see that people have brought their things that they are selling on the roadside, and people too can't pass, because anywhere you pass there are things there, and if you by mistakenly fall any of them down, you'll be insulted. Okay, so yesterday the man was going around there and being like, I will take your things if you don't move back to your stores.
Right, so he's doing a good
yes
job.
He's doing a very great job. So he needs recommendation.
Right.
So thank you very much, Honorable Tato Alute, for your good work being done, and thanks to my people and Ablikma South for giving me the chance to represent you over here, and God bless you for listening and viewing my my program. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Kujo. Thank you too for joining us on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We believe that you had an incredible time right here. This is still your morning companion. We'll come your way same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
When the voice is alive, GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.